This is TWiT.
HTC's got a new smartphone. It's called the Desire Eye, which includes two identical 13-megapixel cameras. They're on the front and the back. Dual-color LED flashes. Two-color plastic unibody designs. It's pretty nice. It also has IPX67 waterproofing. That's the same as, or similar anyway, to what's in the Samsung Galaxy S5. So it works for quick submersion into shallow water and, of course, splash protection, too. The Desire Eye ships with HTC's new Eye camera software suite, which includes an auto selfie feature. I guess selfies are too hard otherwise. And HTC's own simultaneous front and back cam photo app, sort of like the app Front Back. No word on availability yet. However, the event that HTC chose to unveil the Desire Eye smartphone is getting its own share of attention because the company brought out a group of fashion models dressed like jellyfish, we think anyway. They sort of walked back and forth across the stage. They were holding HTC smartphones, possibly a link to marketing the device as a fashion statement or a really great selfie camera for really pretty people. I am just grasping at straws here. HTC did have another product announcement today, though, the Re camera, which is not actually a smartphone. It's a standalone digital camera that pairs to either an Android phone or an iPhone and is designed to take quick photos and video. The Re camera sells for $199.99, so $200. Has a pared down, pretty minimal design, a button on the front, a button on the back, and two LED indicator lights. There's no viewfinder, there's no display, really. There's no user interface. It's a 16-megapixel sensor set behind an ultra-wide angle fixed focus lens. It can shoot 1080p HD video at 30 frames per second, or slow-mo 720p video at 120 frames per second. It'll be available in a bunch of colors, orange, blue, teal, and white, in the U.S. later this month with the rest of the world to follow. That is still a $200 camera in addition to a smartphone, though, so that might be a tough sell for some people. Now, back in June at WWDC, Apple announced Apple Health for iOS 8. Now, popular fitness tracking maker FitBit says it does not currently have plans to opt in and will choose to work on other exciting projects instead. Fitbit was the top seller for activity trackers in the first quarter of this year, according to ABI research, accounting for almost 50% of all shipments. So maybe teaming up with Apple isn't seen as a necessity for the company. Fitbit's trackers do work with apps for apps like MyFitnessPal, YThings, RunKeeper, MapMyRun, Endomondo, and others that are all HealthKit friendly, though. So bit of a middleman situation there. Just like Recode reported, Apple has confirmed a keynote address for Thursday, October 16th, to take place at the Town Hall Auditorium at the company's Infinite Loop campus here in Cupertino, California. Well, near us anyway. And has sent out invitations to members of the press, select ones. I'm still waiting for mine. The event begins at 10 a.m. Pacific time, as Apple events usually do. 9 to 5 Mac predicts new versions of both the iPad Air and the iPad Mini, with the new Air maybe being slightly thinner, having a more efficient A8 processor, the new M8 chip, which is in the iPhone 6, Touch ID, enhanced camera features, and maybe an improved screen design, and possibly that gold color option that's been rumored. The new Mini may get some or even all of the Air's reported new features as well. OS X Yosemite may be released for free on the Mac App Store the day of the event, as OS X versions have been in previous years. Sources tell 9 to 5 Mac that Apple is also preparing both a new iMac and a 12-inch MacBook, both with Retina displays. And rumors have been swirling that the Mac Mini may get updated too. Apple Pay is launching this month on the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, so Apple may disclose more details and launch information during the event on Apple Pay as well. In other Apple news, the company has finalized its specifications for HomeKit through its Made for iPhone, iPad, iPod, or MFI licensing program. Accessory makers can now start building products that integrate iOS 8's new framework for home automation devices ahead of Apple's yearly MFI Summit in November, where it plans to brief manufacturing partners on HomeKit and other new iOS 8 features for accessories. Apple requires that companies building HomeKit-enabled hardware be part of the MFI licensing program and follow the guidelines in the newly published specs. The Federal Trade Commission and Federal Communications Commission announced today that AT&T has agreed to pay $105 million to settle claims that it allowed third-party companies to bill subscribers for millions of dollars in unauthorized charges. the FTC and FCC claimed that until January of this year, AT&T billed subscribers for services like ringtone subscriptions, usually costing around $9.99 per month, and that AT&T kept at least 35% of the money. AT&T will pay $80 million to refund money to current and former AT&T customers who were hit with the unauthorized charges. States participating in the settlement agreement will get $20 million from AT&T as well to settle the allegations, and the federal government will get $5 million. Everybody gets some money. AT&T subscribers can go to ftc.gov/ATT for information about the refund program, which will be handled by the FTC. I hope I get some too, because I never look at those bills, and I used to be an AT&T subscriber.